Breitbart over the weekend, some people said they've never seen anything like it. That normal people off the street, of course, had no access to tickets.
Well, you couldn't get in. Well, these guys came in and paid a lot of money for tickets. Some people had tickets. I blame the RNC. I think the RNC has done a terrible job. This is the third time this has happened, and I think the RNC is doing a terrible job with the debates. Like, I give them an F. But a terrible job with the debates.
Okay. You mentioned health care, Mr. Trump. I had Senator CRUZ on my show the other day, and I wanted to play this for you because he said something about you and Obamacare that I wanted to make sure you had a chance to respond to.
Sure.
Here's cut number 12 from Ted Cruz on last week's Mike Gallagher show.
Donald and I have real differences on policy. For example, one of the biggest differences is on health care. Donald has said he wants to expand Obamacare to make it socialized medicine for everyone. It essentially, Bernie Sanders style, put the federal government in charge of your health care and my health care. Donald has described himself as, quote, very liberal on health care.
Mr. Trump?
Well, look, you've heard my speeches. I mean, the first thing I say is we're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. This guy's a liar. I mean, what else can I say? Even Rubio called him a liar. And, you know, for a professional politician to call somebody a liar, that's hard. But Rubio called him the same thing. He's really a liar. He goes around and just says whatever he wants to say. I'm the strongest on the Second Amendment guns, by far the strongest, okay? And one of the good folks in your profession called me and said, you know, this guy's actually saying you're against the Second Amendment. He was on a show. And I got a clip, and he said, Donald Trump is against the Second Amendment. I said to myself, isn't that a disgrace? He just says whatever he wants to say. He's really a liar. You know, he holds up the Bible, but I tell you what, he's a very dishonest guy. And I don't say that easily. It's disgusting. You know, you've heard my speeches. I mean, one of the first things I say, repeal and replace Obamacare. Is that right, Mike? Because I want to expand Obamacare.
Yeah,
He'll say whatever comes to his mind.
And I guess there's a reference to the fact that you have sort of changed your view on a number of issues, but as you pointed out Saturday night, a little bit like many others have done, the older people get, the more life decisions you go through and experience. I mean, is there grace?
And Ronald Reagan, too, but I've been consistent on Obamacare, and the only thing I say is you have to take care of people that are dying in the streets. I mean, you can't let people in your country die in the streets, and, you know, a guy like CRUZ, I think he's an unstable person, personally, and I've watched him now, and I think he's an unstable guy, but you can't let people die in the streets, but that doesn't mean anything other than we're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. Obamacare is bad in so many different ways. Number one, it's unaffordable. You know, the premiums are going through the roof. They're going up 35, 45, 50%, and we're going to get rid of Obamacare. But this guy, CRUZ, is really something. He'll say whatever comes to his mind. That's what he did with Carson. He said Carson is out of the race. Carson has left the race. Vote for CRUZ in Iowa. And people said, oh, I didn't know he left. Yeah, he left the race. He flew back home to Florida. He left the race. He's gone. Vote for us. He got thousands of votes that way.
You said something very provocative about 9/11 Saturday night, and it was